Right now, I can give you $3 million in cash, a briefcase full of money. You can take it and walk away. Or I can give you a single penny, one dirty, copper penny. But this penny will double in value every single day for 30 days? Which one do you want? Take a moment, think about it. $3 million is life-changing money. You could buy a house, you could retire, you could never worry about bills again. The penny is just a penny. It is worth 1 cent. You cannot even buy a piece of candy with it. Most people choose the briefcase, and most people are making a massive mistake. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why that penny is worth over $5 million. More importantly, you are going to understand the mathematical force that creates that wealth. This force is the most powerful concept in all of finance. It can make you rich, it can also keep you poor forever. And today we are going to decode compound interest. Not the boring textbook version, the real version that shows you why some people build massive wealth, while others work their entire lives and end up with nothing. This is the concept that Albert Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world. If you want to understand how money actually grows, subscribe and hit the like button. Let us watch that penny become millions. Let us track that penny day by day. Day 1, you have 1 cent. Day 2, it doubles. You have 2 cents. Day 3, 4 cents. Day 4, 8 cents. Day 5, 16 cents. After 5 days of doubling, you have 16 cents. You cannot even buy a cup of coffee. Meanwhile, the person who took the briefcase has $3 million. They are laughing at you. You look foolish. Let us keep going. Day 10. After 10 full days of doubling, you have $5.12. You are 1/3 of the way through the experiment. You have enough money to buy a sandwich? Maybe the briefcase person still has $3 million. You have $5. This is what I call the boring phase. This is where the math looks broken. This is where people quit. But watch what happens next. Day 15, you have $163. Day 20, you have $5,242. Now we are getting somewhere. $5,000 is real money, but it is still less than 1% of $3 million. You are 2/3 of the way through the experiment. You have almost nothing compared to the briefcase. This is the danger zone. In real life, this is when people sell their investments. This is when people give up on their savings. This is when people think the system is broken, but the math is not broken. The math is just getting started. Day 21, $10,000. Day 24, $83,000. Day 28, $1,300,000. You finally crossed 1 million. But watch the final days. Day 29, $2,600,000. Day 30, $5,368,709. You beat the briefcase by more than $2 million. And here is the crazy part. Almost all of that growth happened in the last 4 days. If you had stopped at day 25, you would only have about $300,000. The magic was not in the penny. The magic was in the waiting. Now I can tell you these numbers. You can nod your head. You can understand the math intellectually, but your gut still wants the briefcase. Right. That is because human brains did not evolve to understand exponential growth. Let me explain. For most of human history, life was linear. If you hunted 1 deer, you had food for a week. If you hunted 2 deer, you had food for 2 weeks. 1 + 1 = 2. If you walked for 1 hour, you covered 4 miles. If you walked for 2 hours, you covered 8 miles. Everything was predictable. Everything was proportional. Our brains are wired for this linear thinking. It kept our ancestors alive. But compound interest is not linear. It is exponential. It does not add. It multiplies. And multiplication creates curves that our brains cannot intuitively understand. Morgan Housel explains this beautifully in his book The Psychology of Money. He writes that the counterintuitive nature of compounding is responsible for the majority of fortunes and the majority of financial mistakes. We underestimate how powerful it is because we cannot feel it working. Let me show you what this means in real life. If I asked you to guess how much 1 penny becomes after 30 doublings, most people guess somewhere between $10,000 and $100,000. The real answer is over $5 million. We are off by a factor of 50 to 500. Our intuition is completely broken when it comes to exponential growth. This is not a character flaw. This is biology. Our brains simply did not evolve to calculate 2 to the 30th power. Understanding this limitation is the first step to overcoming it. Let me strip away the jargon and explain what compound interest actually means. Most people think it just means earning interest on your money. That is close, but not quite right. There are 2 types of interest: simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest is like a salary. You lend the bank $1,000. They pay you 5% per year. That is $50. After 10 years, you have earned $500 in interest. Your original $1,000 never changes. You just get paid a flat amount every year. Simple, predictable, linear. Compound interest is different. You lend the bank $1,000. They pay you 5% per year. That is $50 in the first year. But here is the key difference. That $50 gets added to your balance. Now you have $1,050. In year 2, you earn 5% on $1,050. That is $52.50. Now you have $1,102.50. Each year, you earn interest on your original money plus interest on all the interest you already earned. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau defines it this way. You earn interest on both the money you saved and the interest you have already earned. Your money has babies. Then those babies grow up and have their own babies. Then those babies have babies. The snowball gets bigger. And because it is bigger, it picks up more snow, which makes it even bigger, which picks up even more snow. This is the compounding effect. Warren Buffett has used the snowball analogy for decades. He describes his wealth-building strategy as finding a long hill and very wet snow. The wet snow sticks to itself. The long hill gives it time to build. The wet snow is good investments. The long hill is time. For those who want to understand the math, there is a formula. A equals P times 1 plus R divided by N, all raised to the power of NT. Do not worry if that looks confusing. Let me break it down simply. P is your principal. This is the money you start with. R is the rates. This is the percentage return you earn each year. N is the frequency. This is how often the interest compounds monthly, daily, yearly. T is time. This is how many years your money grows. The superpower in this formula is T time. It sits in the exponent. It is a power, not a multiplier. This is crucial. If you double the money you put in, you get double the result. That is linear. But if you double the time, you do not just get double the result, you get exponential results. Let me show you with real numbers. You invest $10,000 at 7% annual return. After 10 years, about $20,000, your money doubled. After 20 years, about $40,000, your money quadrupled. After 30 years, about $76,000. After 40 years, about $150,000, your money grew 15 times. Notice something interesting. In the first 10 years, you gained $10,000. In the last 10 years, from year 30 to 40, you gained $74,000. Same 10 years, wildly different results. This is the hockey stick curve. The early years are flat. The later years explode upward. J.L. Collins explains this in The Simple Path to Wealth. He says that time in the market beats timing the market. The formula does not care how smart you are. It only cares how long you stay in the equation. There is a hidden variable in the compound interest formula that most people ignore. It is the N, the frequency of compounding. This determines how often the interest gets added to your balance. If your investment compounds annually, the interest waits a whole year to join the party. But what if it compounds monthly or daily? The more frequent the compounding, the faster the snowball grows. Let me show you the difference. You invest $10,000 at 5% for 30 years. If it compounds annually, you end up with $43,200. If it compounds monthly, you end up with $44,600. If it compounds daily, you end up with $44,800. The difference seems small, about $1,600 over 30 years. But this is with a relatively low interest rate. At higher rates, the frequency difference becomes massive. This is why high-yield savings accounts that compound daily are better than bonds that pay out twice a year. Even if the rates look similar, it looks like fine print, but it acts like jet fuel over time. Everything I have told you so far has been about compound interest working for you. But here's the terrifying truth. Compound interest does not care whose side it is on. It is completely neutral. It just multiplies numbers. And right now, millions of Americans are on the wrong side of this equation. If earning 7% in the stock market is good, consider this. Most credit cards charge 20 to 25% interest. This is the NT penny. This is where the hockey stick hits you in the face. Let me tell you about a man named Bradley. Bradley is 28 years old. He has $12,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. Bradley makes the minimum payment every month, about $240. He thinks he is being responsible. Let me show Bradley the math. If Bradley only makes minimum payments, it will take him over 9 years to pay off that $12,000, and he will pay over $14,000 in interest alone. Bradley borrowed $12,000. He will pay back over $26,000. The credit card company made more money from Bradley's debt than Bradley originally borrowed. This is compound interest weaponized against you. Bradley's payments mostly go to interest, not principal. Each month, the unpaid interest gets added to his balance. Then he pays interest on that interest. The snowball is rolling. But it is rolling toward Bradley, getting bigger every month. Dave Ramsey has been warning about this for decades in the Total Money Makeover. He calls credit card debt a financial emergency. He says your hair should be on fire until it is paid off. Here is why. At 22% interest, debt roughly doubles every 3 to 4 years if left alone. Bradley's $12,000 becomes $24,000 in 4 years if he pays nothing, then $48,000 in 8 years, then $96,000 in 12 years. The hole gets deeper, faster than you can fill it. The minimum payment is one of the most clever financial traps ever designed. It feels responsible. You are paying your bill. You are not missing payments. Your credit score stays intact. But the math of minimum payments is specifically designed to maximize the lender's profit. Here is how it works. Most credit cards set minimum payments at about 2% of the balance. or a fixed amount like $25, whichever is higher. On a $10,000 balance at 20% interest, 2% is $200 per month. But at 20% interest, you are being charged about $167 per month in interest alone. Your $200 payment only reduces your actual debt by $33. At that rate, it takes decades to pay off the balance, and you pay back multiples of what you borrowed. The minimum payment keeps you hovering in the flat part of the curve. Your balance never really goes down, but the interest keeps generating revenue for the lender. You are the penny that doubles for them. Robert Kiyosaki writes about this in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He explains that there are two types of people, those who work for money and those who make money work for them. When you carry credit card debt, your money works for the credit card company, not for you. You are on the wrong side of the equation. If you have high interest debt, you need to understand something clearly. You cannot out-invest high interest debt. The stock market returns about 7 to 10% per year on average. Credit cards charge 20 to 25%. The math simply does not work. Every dollar you invest while carrying credit card debt is a dollar earning 7% while losing 22% somewhere else. You are running uphill on a downward escalator. The solution is ruthless aggression toward the debt. Every dollar you use to pay down credit card principal is a guaranteed, tax-free, risk-free 22% return on your money. You will never find an investment that good in the stock market, ever. Paying off high-interest debt is the single best investment you can make. Let me tell you about a woman named Heather. Heather had $8,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest. She was making minimum payments. Heather calculated that at minimum payments, she would be paying off this debt for over 6 years and pay about $7,000 in interest. Heather got aggressive. She cut expenses. She picked up extra work. She sold things she did not need. She put every extra dollar toward the debt. Not minimum payments, maximum payments. Heather paid off the $8,000 in 19 months. She saved over $5,000 in interest she never had to pay. Then Heather took those same aggressive payments and redirected them to investments. The snowball that was rolling against her was now rolling for her. Heather broke the compounding cycle against her and started a new compounding cycle for her. Now let us talk about the other side of the equation. You understand compound interest, you avoid high interest debt, but you make one fatal error. You wait to start investing. You think, I will start when I earn more money. You think I will start when I am 30. You think, I have plenty of time. This sounds reasonable, but the math says it is devastating. Let me introduce you to two people, Lauren and Mitchell. Lauren starts investing at age 25. She puts $5,000 per year into index funds for 10 years. Then she stops completely. She never adds another dollar. Total contribution, $50,000. Mitchell waits until age 35 to start, but Mitchell is consistent. He puts $5,000 per year into index funds from age 35 all the way to age 65, 30 years straight. Total contribution $150,000. Lauren invested $50,000. Mitchell invested $150,000, 3 times as much. Who has more money at age 65, assuming 8% annual returns? Lauren has approximately $787,000. Mitchell has approximately $611,000. Lauren wins by almost $180,000. Even though Mitchell invested 3 times as much money, how is this possible? Lauren's money had 10 extra years to compound at the end. Her pennies reached the day 30 doubling phase. Mitchell's money ran out of time. This is the hardest lesson in finance. You can always earn more money. You cannot buy more time. Every year you wait to start investing, you are not just losing the interest for that year. You are losing the interest that year's interest would have earned for the next 40 years. Let me put this in concrete terms. If you delay investing $5,000 this year, assuming 8% growth, you are not just keeping $5,000 in your pocket. You are robbing your future self of over $100,000. That is the future value of that single year's contribution over 40 years. When you look at it this way, spending that money on a car or a trip today feels much more expensive. You are not paying for the car with $5,000. You are paying for it with $100,000 of future wealth. The earlier dollars are the most valuable soldiers in your army because they have the longest time to fight for you. Thomas Stanley studied millionaires for decades for his book, The Millionaire Next Door. He found that most millionaires started investing early, lived below their means, and let compound interest do the work. They were not geniuses. They were just patient. Let me tell you about two friends named Jason and Cameron. They graduated college together at age 22. They got similar jobs with similar salaries. Jason understood compound interest. He started investing immediately, $200 per month. Not a lot, but consistent. Cameron did not think about retirement. He was young. He would worry about it later. At age 32, Jason had been investing for 10 years. He had about $35,000 in his investment account. Cameron finally started investing. He began putting $300 per month into his account, more than Jason ever contributed. At age 42, Jason had about $110,000. Cameron had about $52,000. Cameron was contributing more, but Jason was still ahead because of the 10-year head start. At age 52, Jason had about $260,000. Cameron had about $150,000. At age 62, Jason had about $550,000. Cameron had about $340,000. Jason contributed less money over his lifetime, but he finished with over $200,000 more. Those 10 years in his 20s created a gap that Cameron never closed. This is the cost of waiting. J.L. Collins puts it simply, in The Simple Path to Wealth. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. If you are starting late, do not waste time on regret. Regret is not a financial strategy. But if you are young, understand that the pain of saving small amounts in your 20s is nothing compared to the massive lifting you have to do in your 50s to catch up. Let me give you a mental model for understanding where you are in your wealth building journey. Think of the compound interest curve in 3 phases. Phase 1, the flat line, the boring phase. This is the beginning. Your contributions dominate. Market returns are almost invisible. You save $500 per month and the market adds $40. It feels pointless. This phase can last 5 to 15 years depending on how much you save and your returns. The danger in this phase is quitting. People look at their accounts, see tiny growth, and think, this is not working. But it is working. You just cannot see it yet. This is day 1 through day 20 of the penny. It feels like nothing, but you are building the foundation for everything that comes later. Phase 2, the bend the momentum phase. This is the middle. Your portfolio has grown large enough that market returns start contributing meaningfully. You save $500 per month, and the market adds $400. Progress becomes visible. The curve starts bending upward. This phase typically happens somewhere between $100,000 and $500,000 in invested assets. This is day 21 through day 26 of the penny. The numbers are getting interesting. Phase 3, the explosion, the hockey stick. This is the end phase. Your portfolio is so large that market returns dominate completely. You save $500 per month and the market adds $5,000. Your money is generating more wealth than your job is. This is day 27 through day 30 of the penny. The vertical spike. The magic. Most people never reach this phase because they quit during the boring phase or they carry debt that prevents them from ever building momentum. Let me summarize everything into 3 simple rules. Rule 1, start early. Time is the most important variable in the compound interest formula. It sits in the exponent. Every year you wait costs you more than you think. The earlier dollars are the most powerful dollars. If you are young, start now. Even if it is tiny amounts. The math will reward you. If you are older, start today. You cannot buy back time, but you can start the clock now. Rule 2. Avoid high-interest debt. Compound interest is neutral. It works for whoever controls the equation. Credit card debt at 20% will destroy your wealth faster than investing at 7% can build it. If you have high-interest debt, that is your emergency. Pay it off with ruthless aggression before you worry about investing. Every dollar you pay toward high-interest debt is a guaranteed high return. Rule 3. Be patient during the boring phase. The early years of investing feel pointless. The growth is tiny. The sacrifice feels bigger than the reward. This is normal. This is the flat part of the hockey stick. The people who get rich are the ones who endure the flat line without losing faith in the math. They understand that the explosion is coming as long as they do not interrupt the process. Compound interest rewards patience and consistency above intelligence. You do not have to be a genius to get rich. You just have to be stubborn. You just have to be the person who holds on to the penny. Let me return to that original choice. $3 million in a briefcase, or a penny that doubles for 30 days. Most people take the briefcase because they cannot visualize exponential growth. They cannot imagine that a penny becomes over $5 million. They cannot feel the math working in the early days when progress is invisible. They want the sure thing, the immediate reward, the money they can see and touch right now. But the penny wins. The math proves it, every time. The question is, will you trust the math even when you cannot see it working? Will you endure the boring phase when your investments barely grow? Will you stay on the ride long enough to reach the explosion? Will you choose the penny? Most people will not. They will get impatient. They will quit. They will spend their money instead of investing it. They will carry debt that eats their wealth. They will wait too long to start, and they will wonder why they never built wealth. The math is not complicated. The patience is hard. But if you understand compound interest, if you respect its power, if you get on the right side of the equation and stay there, the math will make you wealthy. Not because you are smart, not because you are lucky, because you understand the most powerful force in finance and you let it work for you. The penny or the briefcase. Choose wisely. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you understand why compound interest is so powerful, hit that like button and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, are you in the boring phase, the momentum phase, or the explosion phase? I will see you in the next one.